So let's move on now to the church theme settings. Now here in the church theme settings area basically is where the stuff is that you want to customize your website. So your logo, your address, and stuff like that. So let's upload a logo quickly here. So I'm just going to click on upload one. And in the dialog I'm just going to hit select files. And I've already created my logo image, so I'm just going to select that and open it. And I'm going to scroll down, and WordPress creates this custom URL for this image where it's uploaded it. So I'm just going to copy that and close this dialog by clicking out of it and paste it into this image URL box. So that is now there. I'm going to put in my own address. That's the default. So let's say it's 123 Church Street. And let's make our phone number 565-556-1234. Obviously, I'm just making this information up, but you would want to put in your real information. Our office hours are 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday to Friday. And worship times. Let's say Sundays at 10:30 a.m. and Saturdays at 4 o'clock p.m. and hit save changes. So now that is all saved in there. You can see here below, if you scroll down, there's a preview of the site, and you can see that 123 Church Street is showing, and also our worship times, as well as my logo that I just uploaded, which is generic church. So let's move on to the homepage slider. Now this is where you've got basically a big image sitting on your homepage, and it slides across and shows new information every now and then. If you only have one image, I would recommend putting it in 6 times so that it just shuffles through that image over and over and over again. If you might find as time goes on that you do want to increase that and show different things that are going on in your church. So let's say for the slider image 1, upload. I've got my header image here, which I've created. So I'm going to upload that, copy this URL, close the dialog box, and paste in the URL. And then I'm going to say on here, let's say, welcome to generic church. And slider text, this is what's going to be underneath it. Let's say it's a community of believers living in love and grace. Pretty good motto. Let's say that covers our first image, but let's say that let's say I don't have another image, so I'm just going to copy these 3 and paste them in again. But again, if you have other things that you want, you can change this as time goes on. So you might find that as you expand your website, that you come up with new ideas for what you might want to use this for. So I'm just going to do this third one here. And you can repeat that process for all of the images. So I'm just going to hit save. And let's take a look at what the site is starting to look like here. So I'm just going to open this up in a new tab. And it's starting to take some kind of shape here. My navigation is looking good. I've got my drop-down menus here in all my ministries and my about. So this is all my custom navigation that I created. And up here in the header, I have my my image. And I only filled out 3, so the first 3 are working. The 4th one and the 5th one are kind of not working because I didn't enter them. So let's go through and enter them now just so that it does work properly. Slider image 3. Paste that into the 4th URL. Copy the title. and our tagline. Okay, so I've filled out all of the images now, so it should be functioning perfectly. If I hit Save Changes, let's check it out. We'll hit Refresh, and now we can cycle through these by clicking on these little dots. And yeah, so it is working pretty nice. So we've got these three images down here now that we have to deal with. Image text, and image text. So let's go back to the back end and go to the 3 homepage images tab. Same process. So underneath where it says image 1, you can see enter URL to your image, upload one here. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click select, and I'm just going to pick an image. One thing to note is that these images are 300 pixels wide by 140 pixels high. If you don't set them to that, the website will automatically set them to that. It's going to do an auto crop, but if you want your whole image to show, I would recommend making it 300 by 140. So down here under link URL, let's copy this URL, paste it in, and let's call this one latest sermon. And what is the link that we want this to go to? Well, I'm going to take it to the sermons page. So let's go back up to here and find our sermons page. So click on sermons and copy the URL and paste that URL into here. So now when people click on that image, it's going to link them to that page. Let's repeat this process for image 2. So click upload, select the file. I've got one for small groups here. And again, I'll copy this URL, close this dialog box by clicking outside of it, and pasting that URL into the image 2 URL field. So this one will be for small groups. And what's my link? Well, let's go back to this site because I've already created that. So I'll click on small groups, copy my page URL, paste that in. It's important to note that if you are using permalinks, you're going to want to set those before you paste these in because they may not work properly unless you have the right code in. So let's repeat this for image 3. Kids Ministries. Click open. Select my URL for this image. Close the dialog box and paste the URL. I'm going to type Kids Ministries in, and because I've already created this page, I can get the URL for it by clicking on it. Again, I copy this URL, and I paste it in here. Hit Save Changes, and now if we go to visit this page, so we'll go back to home, you can see that these 3 areas are now filled in. And each one of them links to its page in particular that I told it to link to. So that should be pretty straightforward, and I hope that makes sense.